Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and with me today, we have a special guest. We have Paul from YouTube. How are you, Paul?
Hey, guys. Glad to be here. Excited.
So, Paul is our regular, he's probably our most prominent, YouTube viewer. And he was in this St. Louis area and reached out and was like, hey, you want to have a cigar? And I was like, yeah. Hey, why don't you come on the show? And here we are.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I was in the area. I was only 2 hours away. And if I can have the opportunity to meet Nick and hang out with the Cigar Pulpit family, I want to do it.
So we met here at Rivermen, and we're chilling out here in the lounge at Rivermen Cigar Company. And today we're going to be smoking a special cigar because, 4th of July, why not? And we're going to be smoking the EPC Carrillo Pledge of Allegiance. And the Pledge of Allegiance is a 6x54 Toro that uses Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Ecuadorian-grown Connecticut seed binder, and fillers from the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and the United States. And according to the press release that EPC put out about this is the first time that the company is using two American-grown tobaccos as part of the filler in a blend. Pricing is set at $20 around $20 per cigar. It varies based on your state with tobacco taxes and things of that nature. But it's limited to 1,776 boxes. And we have the box right here for you to look at. It's a nice red and blue with the numbering and whatnot on it. And the amount of boxes, it's a box of 10. And the amount of boxes is to commemorate the signing of the Declaration of Independence, 1776. So it's a nice little Americana cigar.
Yeah, the band is beautiful, and it's the first time I've seen this kind of plasticky end here.
Yeah.
The end cap, I guess, kind of reminds me of a cigar box that has that piano kind of lacquer on it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, no, they did not spare any expense on the bands or the marketing with this cigar. I mean, it's really, really pretty and elaborate. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing going here. So I'm going to go ahead and take off that foot band.
Like we talked earlier, I did read that it's full body, and maybe that means strength. So I ate a big meal before coming here.
There you go. I had some of my lunch, so that's okay. It's okay. We'll manage. But let's give the foot a smell, just because. Nice kind of earthy barnyardy thing going on with the foot there. But it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder at Rivermen Cigar Company. He's sitting right over there, enjoying the game, watching TV in the lounge. And guys, it's nice and cool in here in the lounge, whereas it's hotter than hell outside. So come on in and grab a cigar and chill out and watch the games and have a good time. And if you're not in the St. Louis area, well, you can still support a brick and mortar by giving Dan the Man Ponder a call and ordering cigars over the phone. Miss Cindy is up front right now, ringing people up and doing a good job up there. And she will take your call and she will get cigars packed up and sent to you right away. That way you can still, like I said, support a brick and mortar. Anyway, Rivermen Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut. Oh, I nuked myself. Cut the cigar.
Had some schmuckus in there.
I did. I forgot that I didn't clear that out last time, and I just launched a ton of schmuckus all over myself.
Looking at the cap here, I think we both did good by picking V cutters.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a Padron type.
It
almost
is.
Fragile.
It's very small if you look at it. It's got a very small little yarmulke going on the top, little there.
How are you going to go? Are you going to go top down, or are you going to go horizontal?
You went horizontal. I'll go horizontal. Yeah. That'll be.
And I already forgot that tip you got last time.
About hitting the...
Yes, I already had some loose tobacco in my mouth.
There you go. So I think that is a great little tip. I just been taking the cigar and just doing that. And you get that little bit of extra tobacco out of it. before you light it up. So on the cold draw, thoughts?
Great resistance, right? Perfect. This is how I want it. And I only cut it one time, right? If it was tight of a draw, then maybe the V cut would go twice.
Yeah.
You know, I always get fig Newtons off of most cigars. That's the biggest flavor I get.
Yeah. It's got that sweetness to it. It's a good, I mean, so far, I mean, the draw is really good on it. I love EPC. Like, just the other cigar, the Pledge, the Allegiance, the Encore. I mean, I really do enjoy the cigars that Ernesto's putting out right now. So I've been looking forward to this. Cindy told me that a lot of the cigar smokers that have come in that have had it, she's had a lot of Padron smokers and whatnot give it a try, and they've all really liked it a lot. So the fact that you have Padron smokers saying something highly about another cigar that's not Padron, I mean, I think that's a good sign. So I'm going to go ahead and light mine up and get it going here because I want a cigar. So I spent some time in the car yesterday as well, and I'll get to that in a minute, but you had quite the drive up here.
Yeah, I did. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so it was about 10 hours.
Okay.
And I did it to save money, right? I didn't mind driving, but then I had a rock hit my window, so there's $1,000 right there.
That sucks. So it cracked it?
Yeah.
Do you have a windshield through your insurance?
No, so I looked it up, and different states have different rules. And in Texas, we have a deductible for your window.
Yeah.
Some states don't.
Okay.
So some states do not allow the insurance company to charge you a deductible to replace your windshield.
Yeah.
But for me, I will have to, I guess, pay at least $500.
I think I have a plan. Part of my insurance
just
plan
for your window
is I get one windshield a year.
Oh, wow.
It's built into my plan. If something happens, I get a windshield.
Yeah.
And I can just call Safelite and they'll come out and do the whole replace it wherever I'm at kind of deal.
No, I'm going to have to look into that next time.
Yeah. That sucks. Joe Mama's going to cross in front of the camera. It's okay. You're going to expose yourself? You never know what's going to happen here at Rivermen.
Uh-oh. That's why I'm here. Let's see it.
There you go. So, early thoughts on the light up here.
Yes, I just took one puff really fast, and it's good. It's clean finish, quick. I see you did a retro there. You didn't give anybody a warning on that.
Little spice, little bit of spice on the retro, but it's good. It's really pretty smooth.
Yeah, I'm not getting any pepper.
No. It's more of a baking spicy kind of. Yeah. But
nothing to irritate my palate.
No, exactly.
Aged cigar, and I'm curious to see how it goes on. As I was looking at the selection here, they got everything here.
I know, right?
For such a small square footage store, they have all the cigars that you want, and all the cigars that are popular with the Cigar Authority crew and you guys, and the online stuff. Pretty boutique-y, not much.
It's a nice mix.
It's a nice mix,
of the
right?
bigger brands and the boutique.
I didn't
stuff.
see any Romeos in there.
No, you don't really see the Romeos. You don't really see the Monte Cristos.
Yeah, this is the kind of cigars I like to support. Yeah. Family owned, smaller.
Precisely.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. It's Dan, he's got some general, but Altadis, he's really not really, he doesn't really do much with Altadis. But, there's still something for everybody. I mean, there's all kinds of different cigars around. And, before you go, you want to ask Dan, about maybe some of the stuff that's been sitting around for a little bit, that kind of age stuff, and everything. Because let's be real, it's one of those deals where for any shop owner, batting 1,000, to bring in something that everybody's going to enjoy. Really? Cindy comes walking by and flips me off. All right. I mean, it's another day at Rivermen. But anyway.
Standard practice,
Standard practice.
At any cigar store.
Well, here's the thing with Cindy, is if she's making fun of you, you're good. It's when she's being nice to you, that means she's either mad at you or she wants nothing to do with you.
Got it.
So that's the key, is if she's being nice to you, you're really in trouble.
Good information for anybody that's going to come and visit.
Exactly. So, what was I saying? We were talking about the cigar selection.
That it's a good choice, not batting 1,000.
Oh, yeah. So, no cigar company or cigar shop owner is going to bat 1,000. So some things just aren't going to move as quickly as other things. And it sucks. And some stores, they do a closeout, they get rid of it and move on with life and whatever else. Dan, he's got the space. So stuff can kind of sit for a little bit, kind of age up. And what he's found is that in some cases, you get a really good cigar out of the deal. It gets a little bit more age on it. But in other cases, he's had cigars that maybe when they first came in, they weren't that big of a deal. But then later, maybe it gets an award. And all of a sudden now he's sitting on all these cigars that nobody wanted before. Now they want them. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they're also aged like 6 to 12 months additionally, so it's kind of nice. Movies
kind of do that when they're initially released. They might not get a following, but later on they get this cult following and go up in value, and everybody starts watching it afterwards.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of concept. Dan's just got the nice selection going on. So, yeah, I'm glad you're able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was sitting on the toilet today, and next to the toilet there was a book with little facts. And so I open it up.
I love how that's when you think about me. But
it's
when a lot of people think about me, I guess. So
I knew we were going to smoke this, and I open it up, and there's a fact about the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
You ready?
Look at you with show prep.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm prepared. So this has nothing to do with the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the Constitution or the Founding Fathers. It was initially... The Pledge of Allegiance was initially written in 1892 by a Christian socialist and published in a children's magazine on the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's discovery of America. Okay?
Okay.
So initially, it did not have one nation under God in there. That was added later on through President Eisenhower.
Okay.
Another fact about it is that when people were saying the pledge at the beginning, you had your right hand extended and pointed to the flag.
So like all Zig Heil kind of thing going on.
So when the Nazis came about, they got rid of that shit.
Oh, I would imagine
they said, put it over your heart instead.
Interesting.
Yeah. I got another one on the next page while I was sitting on the toilet, talking about saluting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. When salutes first came about, it was you had to lift your visor on a helmet in medieval times so they could see who you were.
Yeah.
But even before that, in the Roman times, there were so many assassinations going on that you would have to raise your hand by your head when you're walking past important people to show them that you don't have a knife or something, right?
Okay.
And then it kept evolving when the modern salute came about and you have your hand facing downward. It was because in the British Navy, you did not want to show how much tar you have on your palm to your commanding officers because it was ugly or whatever you're in the Navy.
Yeah.
And it kept evolving.
Interesting. Look at you. All sorts of facts.
Well, I mean, that's sitting on the toilet for a long time helps, right? you get plenty of time to read facts.
You got to watch that, though. That's how you get hemorrhoids.
I found that out when I'm older, but... It's only on the internet. Only the internet.
Only the internet. This. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you're in the St. Louis or you're in the Missouri area for family for the holiday weekend?
Yeah. So my wife's family's from here.
Okay.
And so originally I was born in Poland.
Okay.
I moved here when I was 10 and I've been in Texas ever since. And so you got these states, and pardon me for making fun of America's heartland, right?
Okay.
But they're like flyover states. You hear that in a song where...
it's funny that you mentioned that. We'll get to that when I talk about my day trip yesterday, but okay.
Missouri, I couldn't point to it on a map. I can't, Illinois, I know Chicago. These places...
And the funny thing is, I'm 5.5 hours from Chicago, where I live, where I'm 30 minutes from St. Louis, where I live. So,
and it's all right here.
Bizarre.
And I still get confused with, okay, so there's a Illinois St. Louis,
East St. Louis,
and then there's Missouri St. Louis, and there's a Kansas City in Missouri, but that's the real Kansas City.
And then there's Kansas City, Kansas, which is across the border.
And then we were talking earlier about O'Fallon, Missouri, O'Fallon, Illinois.
Yep. Columbia, Missouri, Columbia, Illinois.
So there's a lack of creativity here when it comes to naming places.
Oh, it's not just here. I mean, so there's a Belleville, Illinois, and there's a Belleville, Indiana. I pass it on the way to go see my dad out in Indianapolis. I mean, if you really look, there are a lot of common, like, city names just around the country in general, not just this general area, but yeah.
And to redeem myself about making fun of the flyover states,
okay,
I will say that, this is where America really is America, right? As an immigrant from Poland, where we got our asses kicked in World War II, a lot of the reason why we can celebrate our freedom, and this is a 4th of July type theme, is because of the Americans that came from the heartland, from the deep part of America, and died over there to help us out. So, that's such a great positive for this forgotten part of the world.
Well, we really dig it. And I've got my tasty beverage from Burger King where you can have it your way. I still haven't gotten that Burger King sponsorship, but maybe someday.
It won't happen. I'll let you
I know.
It's a tobacco podcast.
I know. But perchance to dream. Somebody. I mean, let's be real. How many of their employees take part in tobacco usage?
Yeah, maybe marijuana.
Well, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of products being used, but anyway. Well, that's very cool. So, do you have plans to go see fireworks over the 4th, or how long are you in Missouri?
I'm going to leave on Monday.
Oh, okay. So you're leaving on the 3rd then?
Yeah, I've seen fireworks. I don't.
Well, I know, but
I don't need a.
I didn't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm a grown ass man. I don't need to look at fireworks.
So, do you like fireworks then? You're acting like
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Loud explosions.
We like our loud explosions here in the Midwest.
I see you guys have a lot of fireworks stands, and in Texas, most of that shit's illegal because
in Missouri,
of fire hazards.
That's the other thing.
Okay.
You jump the river to Illinois, the most you get are those the little white thing you throw on the ground to make the pop and the snakes and all that crap. Like, firework laws in Illinois are super strict because the People's Republic of Illinois, they have to tell us how to control our lives. Whereas over in Missouri, it's buy one, get 4 free, So Molly Brown's fireworks and all the other stands all over the damn place. It was funny. I was talking to somebody, and they were saying that when they were moving to this area and they were making the drive, they said that you could tell you were in the Midwest, specifically, Missouri area, because you had every 4 billboards. It was this. There was what was it? It was like a religious billboard. There was a fireworks billboard. There was an adult superstore billboard, and I'm trying to remember what the 4th one was. Maybe like boots or some sort of thing like that, But it's like you have your boots, you have your porn, you have your God, and you have your fireworks. And it's just like, well, there you go.
I get it.
And food. I guess food is mixed in and amongst there.
Sort of like high crime areas, right? They'll have a fried chicken place. They'll have an auto loan car title place.
Yeah.
They'll have a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
It's on every corner.
I mean, it's thriving businesses in various environments. But, so yesterday I took a drive and went out to St. Robert, Missouri, which is kind of down by Fort Leonard Wood. And there's a cigar shop out there called The Office Cigar Bar and Lounge or something like that. And really nice little place, smaller humidor, but it was a nice place. And the humidor itself, it had a good selection to it. And I had a little business I had to run down there to take care of. And in the process, that's when I discovered that St. Robert is where the Uranus Fudge Factory is located.
Okay.
And so I went and I had my fudge packed at the Uranus Fudge Factory.
Okay. Was this your first time?
It was my first time,
okay.
and the lady was very gentle. So, no, so, like, it's funny as hell, man. They totally, they embrace all of the juvenile humor that could possibly come from this.
Yeah.
Okay? So you go there, and it's like, it's a couple of different buildings all kind of linked together. And it's just it's a tourist trap. I love it so much. I mean, they've got the museum of like freaks and oddities that you can take the tour of. They have the fudge factory and gift shop where they have every freaking T-shirt known to man. I bought a sticker here. Let me show you this. I bought this sticker and because I had to. It was the Dental and Proctology Clinic.
Oh, very nice. It's a tooth with like a butt and a tattoo on their butt.
And it's talking about the best cavity search in town at the Dental and Proctology Clinic. Very nice. I bought my son a T-shirt. It's the Uranus Space Force, keeping Uranus Klingon free since 2018. So I mean, they play it up. Their newspaper is the Uranus Examiner. And the main headline there, breaking news, the Wienermobile slid into Uranus again. And they've got a picture of the Wienermobile sitting in front of their sign out front.
Well, didn't they rename that?
Yeah, now it's the Frankmobile, which totally, I mean, it's bullshit. But see, they also have other cool stuff. Like they have the world's largest belt buckle, I mean, that's just like out there. You can just go check out the world's largest belt buckle.
There you go.
And I'm a sucker for like, roadside attraction stuff like that.
Well, that's great. It may play into what I brought you later on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we'll see. But did they have any hoop-shaped fudge? I mean, they didn't
have. I mean, the fudge was in squares.
So they didn't even think about rolling it up?
No, they didn't even make like the logs and all that sort of thing. But see, speaking of logs,
is there some peanuts in those? Maybe.
They had walnut ones.
Okay.
So maybe. An M&M.
What about candy corns in them?
No, I didn't see any with candy corns, but you're right. That would be a good idea, too. But I did buy some fudge. And the lady, you walk up to the counter, and she's like, welcome to Uranus. Can I pack your fudge for you?
Very nice.
And I'm like, sure. So you pick out the flavors, and then, that you're done, and she hands you the box. And she goes, it was a pleasure packing your fudge today. And I'm like, thank you. I mean, they embrace it, man.
In 2023, that's surprising.
I love it so much. I love it so much. And then the other nice thing is, just up the highway, there was a Stuckey's gas station, which they're not common around here. So when I saw it, I was very excited so that I could get myself a Stuckey's pecan roll log.
There you go.
So I mean,
those have a filling?
Yeah, there's some sort of filling to them. I don't know.
Because there are all sorts of different ones.
Like a nougaty thing or something going on, But I mean, I haven't had one of those for quite some time. So I'm all excited. I've got myself all sorts of sweets that I totally don't need on this like trip yesterday.
Butt-related chocolate weekend, huh?
I did, so far.
I get it.
I mean, it's still early. There's still many more adventures that could
not with me.
Well, no. We just met. So anyway, so
what are you getting out of this cigar? I'm kind of getting like a toasted bread with those little baking spices like we talked about, and maybe like caramelized brown sugar. I've been thinking about this for a while. So that's why I was able to come up with these.
I was going to say that is
I'm not that
straight
good.
Up Mr. Jonathan kind of review there going on.
I'm going to brulee some sugar on there.
Okay, and then take it off and kind of scrape it a little bit, and then you lick the scrapings, right?
And with a touch of butt fudge.
Yeah, I'll agree. I kind of a bready kind of component and the baking spice. I'll give you that. I mean, it's super good. It's smooth as hell. The smoke production on it's been really nice. And, the draw on it has been fantastic. I was a little concerned about ashing on myself, but now I'm good. And I had a slight little wonk to my burn line in the very beginning, but, man, it's straightened out just fine. No big deal. So it was on me when I lit it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was worried about a nicotine kick. I was thinking maybe I'll have like heart palpitations or something at the beginning with really strong cigars, but I'm not getting that at all.
Yeah, no. I mean,
if I had to give it a strength, I would say maybe like 6.
Yeah, 6 to 6 to 6.5. I wouldn't go any higher than
Definitely
that right now.
Definitely full flavor.
Yes, a lot of flavor to it. No, it's just another really, really good cigar from EP Carrillo. I'm just very, very happy with it so far.
Well, for $23, you better bring something to the table.
I don't disagree with that, and that's something that a lot of cigar manufacturers are going to have to be doing because, I'm sure you've heard about it on the Cigar Authority, and then if you're reading press releases about stuff coming out of PCA and this and that and whatever, there's some really high dollar stuff that's going to be coming out. And I'm not even talking like the $100 Rockies and the $300 Olivas, and that sort of thing. I mean, there's just some other stuff that coming in at like $20 to $30 that, quite frankly, these days, not many people have the budget room to fit that in. I mean, like, for example, yesterday when I was out at the office and I was looking through the humidor, I like to buy something, when I pop into these shops and that sort of thing. Yeah. And so I'm looking, and they had Plasencia, and I saw, I don't remember which one I bought. I think I have it out in the car, but, it's, I went ahead and did it because I don't encounter Plasencia a lot, and it was like $21. I'm like, that's not the worst price point. But what it did do is it made me think to myself, okay, I have my cap of how much I want to spend here today. So, like, I can either get, like, 5 cigars, or I can get the Plasencia and maybe, like, 1 or 2 other ones. And those 1 or 2 other ones ended up just being Charter Oaks, to keep that price point down. Mm-hmm. So, but I love the Charter Oaks, especially the Habano one.
And they're coming out with an expensive one.
Yeah, well, expensive for
them, right?
But it's more in the price point of the others, which I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try to smoke it. I'd like to find one and try to smoke it. I don't know if that's a good idea for them at that price point, only because, like, what you're pointing out is that they're known for being not necessarily a budget cigar, but more of a value brand. And so taking your normal price point of like maybe $7 and doubling it to like 13, 14.
Right.
That could be a big bite for people that are used to the $7 smoke,
Yeah, absolutely.
So
they're it's a big decision for them to see if they're going to go up. I like to stay around the $10 value because you go in there like today, you grab 10 cigars around $10. It's going to be about $100.
$100.
Easy math, right? $23. For me, it doesn't really qualify as a special occasion cigar. I'm more of like a 25 and up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't qualify as an affordable everyday cigar. So at that range, for me, you got to give me just good flavor, good performance.
There are some cigars where I would say it's a special occasion cigar and price doesn't necessarily matter with it.
That's interesting.
And I'm not necessarily saying that on the high side. I'm saying that more on the low side.
Oh.
Like, you could find a cigar that's just a really fantastic smoke that maybe it's more of an affordable smoke. And, like, okay, I'll give you an example. So, and maybe this is a bad example because it was a limited edition. But there was that Henry Clay Warhawk, the Rebellious. I smoked the shit out of that when that came out, which would have been, when would that have been? 2020, maybe? 2019, 2020? I'm trying to remember. Maybe it's 2020. I think it was 2020. And I smoked the hell out of it. And I still got a box sitting in my humidor, just, resting, sitting there. At some point, I'm going to have to break into it because, you don't want to let them sit forever and ever. But I've got it, and I haven't had this thing in years because it's limited,
right.
And I don't want to break into the one box that I've got.
Yeah.
But then Scott from the Smoking Butts and Tap and Ash guys, he found these somewhere. I don't know where he found them, and he gave me one of those when I went out to the barbecue thing in Greenville back at the beginning of May, and I sat on that cigar for at least a month or better because even though it was maybe a $12 smoke, I was like, this is special to me, and I want to use it at a special moment,
Right, the rarity of it.
And exactly,
and
the rarity.
Around
exactly.
It. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think there's cigars that are special occasion cigars, but they don't necessarily have to be expensive cigars, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you have anything like that?
I like to buy cigars everywhere I go on vacations or traveling. So in my humidor, I can look at a $10 cigar I bought somewhere and be like, oh, I bought this one when I was in Chicago, and this is what was going on during that day. And so when I smoke that cigar, I can reflect on those memories.
Yeah.
And so, sure, that makes it special. But I heard a good saying one time is sometimes the cigar itself can make a day special, right? So if you want to celebrate an anniversary or something, you're going to be happy enough as it is, right?
Yeah.
Just smoke a good cigar, but maybe on a day, like on a Tuesday, and it's raining outside, and you really haven't had anything going on that day, and you want to make that day special, grab yourself a special cigar and make that entire evening around that cigar.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, and I've done that. I mean, a lot of times on Wednesdays, I'll smoke while I'm doing my deliveries and everything like that. But when I'm home and I'm done and I can just veg out and relax, that's when it's really nice. You get that cigar and you just sit out on the patio and, throw on something on the iPad to watch TV or something, and then go from there.
Absolutely. So we're sitting in this cigar store that you used to work at, right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of us viewers and anybody in the cigar hobby, they imagine themselves working in a cigar store or owning one or something.
Yeah, I think a lot of us on the couch think, we could do that, and that sort of thing.
So ruin our daydream a little bit. Tell us what the reality of the situation is. Do you have any stories here? Because, the minimum thing is if you're sitting at the counter or standing at the counter, we don't think about the fact that, okay, you've been standing for 8 hours, your back's going to hurt, right?
No, it's true. Additionally, look, you've got those customers that come in that are nice guys. You've got the regulars. You've got the walk-ins that are nice people and all this kind of stuff. You also have people that maybe you just are like, oh, dear God, like you just, for whatever. I'm sure there's people in your life that you've encountered that you're just like, this person bugs me, or this person, whatever. And you just are like, oh, God, not them. Mm. Thankfully, there weren't many. There were only like maybe, I'm thinking off the top of my head now, there was maybe 3 total out of everybody that I dealt with.
Yeah.
And there are very specific reasons why they plucked on my nerves, But I won't get into it because I don't want them being like, oh,
they may be sitting here with us.
Well, they're not. No, I like Bob. Bob's a good guy. He's over there watching TV too. But anyway, but no, the thing that I think more than anything, the consumer that's thinking about taking that jump needs to consider is there's a lot of money wrapped up in this. And if you're doing it just because you think it'd be fun and you want to have a place to hang out with your buddies and sit and smoke, and you think that your job as the owner is to sit in the lounge with the guys and smoke cigars and just hang out. I mean, you'd be better off just building a clubhouse and having your cigars there and just inviting your buddies over, to sit and smoke at your clubhouse. Because that's what you're doing, only you're doing it on a way more expensive level by opening up a shop. If you're going to open up a shop, you got to make it a business. You got to come at it with the mindset that this is a business. It needs to be run properly as a business, which means you have to have certain components to it in order to make it run properly. You got to know what product is moving, and it may not be products you necessarily are into. Like, if you're moving, let's say, 65% Connecticut's, I'm not a Connecticut smoker by and large. But if I'm moving that much Connecticut, I got to be bringing in Connecticut, and I got to be looking for good Connecticut's to introduce to my consumers. Maybe you don't like flavored infused cigars. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Acid is one of the top selling brands, if not the top selling brand. So if you don't have any sort of flavored infused, even if it's not Acid, there's other ones out there. If you don't have anything to offer to those people, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're leaving money on the table. It's you gotta think that sort of way. Additionally, if you do want to be the owner that's just sitting in the back and everything, keep in mind somebody needs to be manning that register. So now you're paying an employee to stand up front and do the work when you're just sitting in the back with the customers. And maybe you can get away with that for a little while, but manpower costs a lot of money. I mean, you've got minimum wages that you've got to maintain. You've got, employee taxes you've got to pay. You've got your unemployment taxes you got to pay, things like that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that as well. So it's not a cheap proposition. And then just stocking the cigars. I mean, you got to figure for every cigar shop that you go into, unless they're marking up higher, typically the markup on a cigar is 100%. So if you're buying a $10 cigar, that shop bought it for $5. That $5 that they've marked up that cigar, that has to pay for the employee standing at the register, that has to pay for the electricity, the water, the rent, everything involved in the business and whatnot. Cindy's doing jazz hands. It has to pay for all the different components of the business. And when you start to think about, like, what does it cost to open up the shop and run it for a month, that number can be very, very large. And you're doing that $5, $3, $10 at a time, depending on how expensive the cigars are, that are okay. Cindy just giving me the raspberry now. At a time, it adds up. So, that's why, from what I'm hearing from different retailers, the shops that have bars, that have liquor, they're doing maybe a little better right now because the markup on booze is typically 5-1. So, they figure out how many shots are in a bottle and they figure out the per bottle cost. And then, one shot, they'll charge 5 times what it, the percentage. You're
right.
Following my math.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, for them, if let's say you sit there and you smoke 2 cigars, the cigars, yeah, that's money, but realistically, they want you drink. They want you drinking, maybe 4 drinks over those 2 cigars,
right?
Because they're making way more on those 4 drinks than they are on those 2 cigars. So
do you think your time here kind of ruined that magic of the cigar industry for you a little bit, or?
No, it gave me a greater appreciation, I think, for the shops that are doing well, and it gave me insight as to things that maybe shops that aren't doing well could. I'm not saying I'm any sort of an expert at all, but it gave me an insight as to what they could be trying in order to enhance their business and maybe make it a little bit tighter,
Right.
I mean, there's still plenty of these shops that are out there where it's maybe a 2-person operation, husband and wife, and they're just doing it, 5 days a week and, working 9 to 5 or, 10 to 6 or whatever it is and just doing that. More power to them. But then there's also like the bigger ones. I saw billboards for Smokers Friendly driving, back from St. Robert and that sort of thing. I mean, you've got bigger shops and bigger operations out there that, they figured out the business side of it. So that's the thing, is that I guess it really all just depends on what you want to do with it. But, and look, if all you want is a clubhouse, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't expect to make a ton of money, Yeah,
you're right with the hobby versus professional business type of take on it. I went into one of my buddy opened up a cigar store, and it was a mom and pop. Him and his wife did it, and the humidor has carpet in there. That was off-putting. And then I was a beginner smoker, and
that's not just off-putting. That's a health issue. That they're going to have to deal with at some point.
I asked for a Mac Nudo. It was, one of my first cigars that I was into.
Yeah.
And they made fun of me and they said, we don't have Macanudos. That's one of the most popular brands ever, one of the most popular cigars to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me I can't get a Macanudo on your carpeted humidor floor? And, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to be coming back to that business anymore.
Yeah. No. Well, and that's the thing. The last thing in the world you want to be as a consumer is insulted, or at least having had the feeling of being insulted for daring to go to a place with the prospect of giving them money.
Yeah.
There was a cigar shop over across the river that now is no longer in business. Their lease wasn't renewed and whatever, and so they ended up closing. So I'm not going to name them or anything, but I went there one time, and the woman, it was a college town, and so maybe they'd had problems with, younger people coming in there. But I've never felt more like a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm being eyed up the whole time. I'm not getting any sort of warm and fuzzies from her at all. There's signs everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I've been in some shops where you see one or two. These were everywhere. If you want a free ride in a cop car, go ahead and steal something. You're on camera, blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
This and that. I mean, it was everywhere promoting that you are being watched. And then when you go in the humidor, it's a fucking mess. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. There's no organization to it. It was awkward. And it wasn't a pleasant shopping experience. And so, of course, I bought something because that's just how I am. But I never went back there, and now they're closed. So, whatever.
You're talking about messy humidors. And the cigar is just so much art to it, right? And it's a fine product, and so much effort goes into making it. And I'll walk into a Total Wine, and their humidor's a mess. And I feel like asking the manager, can I just fix this, please?
You can always tell a Total Wine where they have a cigar guy working the cigars, and where they don't.
Yeah, just care about the product.
We had the Total Wine that's closest to me. For a while, there was a guy, he actually was on the show, Christopher Manzo. He was on the show, oh my God, maybe a year or so back? I don't know. There's an episode with him where he and I sat down. And he'd already retired from the cigar industry. He was a rep for a number of years. He'd retired from the cigar industry. Well, he got a job at Total Wine, working the whiskey and the humidor. And you would go in that humidor, and dude, everything was great. One of the things that Cindy taught me is when you're going through and you're fixing the humidor, if let's say there's a row of cigars in the box, and then the upper row has maybe 4 cigars in there, maybe 6 have been removed, you push them to the left, and you just kind of keep them in line.
Make it neater.
Keep them neat. And so that you would go in that humidor over at the Total Wine, and Christopher was doing that. Everything was organized. Now you go there, you'll find this cigar over in this box and this and this and whatever, and everything's all messed up, and it's a mess.
Dude,
and
if
I'm
gonna stick something in my mouth, it better look nice.
Well, that's words to live by there, I guess. But so I mean, exactly, you got to take pride in what you're doing.
You're a big tea fan, right?
I am.
I got a little bit of a tea flavor coming in down here in the middle part now.
Yeah.
Definitely tell me if you're getting that. Just some dirty water for you. Oh, another retro. Nobody's asking you to do this. It's just me, right?
I know. Maybe a little. I do it for the people, though.
Yeah.
I do it for the people. Maybe a little bit, and it might be power of suggestion. I do feel like the spice maybe is ramping up a little bit on the retro as we keep going.
That's all you, man.
Is it all me?
You. I'm not going to do that to myself.
I'm being okay.
No,
you're not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm not doing it, but
you have a little bit of a burn thing going on there.
Yeah, I do.
Not to call them out or anything.
No, I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an opportunity here. So we go down to the Pledge of Allegiance band here.
Yeah, I'm going to at some point pull that off, but I don't want to do that too prematurely. So why don't we go ahead now and get into this?
We all need to live united, but one must go. Brought to you by United Cigars, makers of La Giana Havana, Abuelo, Red Anchor, Firecracker, and of course, United Cigars. Distributors of Jose Dominguez, Garofalo, Montosa, and Terra Nova, and the highly acclaimed Atabey, Byron, and Bandolero. Buy United, Smoke United, Live United, United Cigars.
So I'm going to offer, do you have one before I do
mine? You think I drove 10 hours and didn't come prepared with...
Well, that's why I was asking.
Right?
Because
I'm ready. If you want to do two, we can do two.
Okay, all right. Well, then we can let you go first.
Okay.
What is yours?
So, one must go.
Mine's probably not that great, so...
I'm going to say commercials.
Oh, God.
Waiting at red lights. Or waiting in line. So you got to pick one that you want to get rid of that you hate the most.
Okay, so commercials I have found for the most part. So, like, are you talking like commercials on just in general?
Netflix, YouTube, radio.
Okay, so for the most part, I have found a way to cut most of the commercials out of my life because I've cut the cord. So TV wise, I'm streaming only, and I will pay more to go ahead and get rid of the commercials.
So that's my secret. This is why I watch YouTube, because I pay for YouTube Red.
Okay.
And YouTube Red allows you to listen to something through your phone and turn the screen off. So it almost works like a podcast.
Okay.
So if you guys do something silly or a girl walks by Top Shooters, I'll just turn the phone back on and I can rewind it immediately, right?
Okay.
That's how I do the Cigar Authority and all those. So I'm with you on paying extra.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to say commercials I'll go ahead and keep because by and large I've managed to find a way to minimize them. I won't say eliminate them because I haven't paid for YouTube Red, although that does sound like a nice feature.
Yeah, it's like
what does that run?
It's $9 or something like that.
It's a monthly thing?
Yeah, and I hate that YouTube is not pro cigars, right? We all hear about how they're doing the cigar industry, so I hate that I'm paying them money, but there's a lot of good content on YouTube, and it saves a lot of your time not watching that garbage.
No, that's true, and nothing sucks more than when you're like in the middle of something, and all of a sudden the ad pops up, and you can't skip through it and whatever else. So no, I get that. I'll have to look into that. So waiting at a red light or waiting in line?
Those are two different.
And those are two different things. I'm going to get rid of waiting in line because see, waiting at a red light, at least it's automated and it might take you a while, but it's done on a regular kind of sequence.
There's
some control to it.
Yeah, there's a sense to the madness. Right?
Whereas waiting in line, nothing sucks more than you're standing there and like the person is helping somebody, and then suddenly that person that they're helping has 8 other questions, and now you're trapped that much longer or something. I'm going to get rid of waiting in line. I don't like to wait in line.
Yeah, you know what helped me with that is I have my groceries delivered.
Okay.
So
like Instacart or whatever?
Yeah, well, Kroger, maybe you can get them sponsor you. Kroger does free deliveries for $150 a year.
Okay.
As long as you order over $35, and I don't know if there's a Kroger around here. But
no, I don't believe so. Actually, there was a whole deal about Kroger.
Well, they own Albertsons now. Is there Albertsons here?
No.
Oh, man.
There's a whole deal in St. Louis about Kroger, and I don't remember what it was. They've gotten back into the area through a sub-company there's called like Ruler Foods, which is, I believe, kind of like a Aldi, kind of a budget kind of grocery store version. So they're finding ways back into the St. Louis market. But there was something that went on with them and I feel like national stores, all of the national stores are gone now too. I don't know. That's something I'll have to Google after we're done. But yeah.
I'm with you. I'll pick waiting in line. That's horrible.
It is. It's just, I mean, when I go to, because see, inevitably when I go to the store, I'm typically not buying a ton of stuff. Like if I'm going to the store, I'm going in because I ran out of shampoo, and I need to just run in and grab it.
And you're going to do the self-checkout?
See,
every time I do a self-checkout, I feel like I work here.
Yeah, exactly. I want my W-2 from Walmart,
right, exactly.
But I hate it, but I guess it depends on the moment. Because what I found is these stores have put in so many self-checkouts now. Yeah. It's not anywhere near as quick and convenient to use the self-checkout as it used to be, because everybody's waiting in line and everybody has their full carts and they don't have enough room to do what they need to do. And it takes them 10 times longer than if they would just have the registers with the people running everything. So to be honest, I go to the registers mostly because those move quicker and more efficiently than the self-checkout does.
Have you ever gone to a store, seen the line, dropped the product and left, and then just ordered it on Amazon?
Yeah. No, I've done that. I mean, specifically Walmart, going in like shampoo or something like that. I mean, just to go back to that. Exactly.
Have you ever experienced a store where you just pick items up and then you walk out with them and it charges your credit card?
No, I've never done that.
I think that might be the next thing where there's so many
Sam's Club has that.
Where you just walk out with your stuff.
Well, there's an app. And so when you're going around the store, you scan things as you're putting them in your cart. And then you just pay for it right there on your phone, and then you can just walk out and leave.
Excellent. Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And I think Walmart was talking about expanding that from Sam's Club to Walmart, but I don't know if they've actually done it. I would think that could possibly lead. I mean, you're going to have some level of security because, like, let's be real, I mean, I'm sure they've had plenty of people scamming the self-checkout things too, like conveniently not scanning something and trying to get out. But, yeah, I would think that would be efficient. Now, my trick with Walmart and like Walgreens and anywhere that has like checkout counters away from the main checkout thing. So, like, you can typically check out in, like, the electronics department, like a home and garden department, something like that. If you can, and Walgreens, the photo department, if you can check out somewhere else where there's not the line, I mean, that tends to go a lot quicker.
Do you get a dirty look when you go to the, photo counter at Walgreens with a bunch of groceries?
Again, if I'm at Walgreens, I'm typically only picking up like one or two things. So maybe, but I don't care. I'm getting out before the 4 people that are in line at the main checkout. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I would say that.
What was yours? One must go.
Oh, mine was going to be some 4th of July theme thing. Like what must go? Like, hot dogs, beer, or fireworks, or something like that.
I'd probably just let go of Bud Light.
So Yuengling has expanded now to Missouri. Do they have that down in Texas?
They do. They came in with a huge promotion, and I was on it for a long time.
Yeah?
I like it. Oh, man, this may be a sin if I say this, but it kind of tastes like Heineken. And Heineken comes in a green bottle.
Yeah.
And when it gets exposed to the sun, it kind of skunks a little bit. It starts tasting bad.
Okay.
Yuengling comes in a dark amber brown colored bottle, so it never does that. That's why I switched from Heineken.
Okay.
Yeah. But good marketing, huge displays in stores. So they got a good market share.
They came into St. Louis and Missouri right when the whole Bud Light situation went down.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was obviously not planned. It was just,
good
happenstance, just the stars aligned. And my God, the amount of people that switched here locally.
Are you on that right now, or are you doing something else?
I'm not much of a beer guy by and large. I tend to go more ciders than beers. And then, I mean, I'll admit, like when I'm out at like a bar, like there's Santino's in Imperial. I'll pop down there, and have a cigar and a drink at that place. They make a mean White Russian down there.
Yeah, that must pair very well. Right?
Depends on what you're smoking.
Yeah.
But, if you're smoking something that's kind of creamy and smooth, so like a Perdomo champagne, for example, you pair that with a White Russian, that kind of milky coffee kind of thing going on, that actually does work out fairly well.
I tell you what does it for me is Bailey's.
Okay.
With a cigar. And I'll go off the St. Bernard's or whatever. That's the off-brand Bailey's. But that brings out so many good flavors in the cigar. It's just amazing. Just a little bit of ice to water it down, and you're good to go.
For sure. Okay. Well, there we go. That's been the One Must Go.
The One Must Go segment was brought to you by United Cigars. United we smoke.
Now we'll go ahead and get into the Villiger Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger Cigars. I still need to make a thing. I need to do that actually this weekend because I'm going to be sitting down with Rene Castaneda. I always butcher his last name. He's the president of Villiger Cigars for the other show for the week that this episode's coming out. And we're going to be talking about everything coming out of PCA, including the new 1888 Villiger Nicaragua, which I have samples of. I haven't smoked it yet because I want to smoke it on the show with him.
Absolutely.
But that Villiger de Nicaragua, which was their limited one that they came out with earlier this year, super good cigar. So I'm really looking forward to trying what this one tastes like. And there is one shop here in St. Louis that does carry Villiger cigars. And you can find out where you can try Villiger cigars by going onto Villiger's website and hitting the store locator and seeing where near you can get them, because you should. They're really good cigars. I like them a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what are you watching? What entertainment are you consuming?
Yeah, I'm ready for this too, right? Like I said, 10 hours to think about it. Right now I'm watching The Bear.
I saw
Hulu.
the first season. I have not watched the
second.
second.
Season's out.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Is it all out, or are they doing an episode
know.
a week kind of deal?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
All
only
right.
on the second episode.
Okay.
I was watching Always Sunny a little bit today.
See, I just learned there's a new season of that out.
and
I didn't even
I
know
thought
that.
you had to pay for it, like on FX or something, but
Yeah.
Hulu is just putting them out.
Yeah.
Maybe the day after or something, but you don't have to pay extra for that.
Okay.
And then the other thing I've done is, because it is getting kind of harder to find TV shows that aren't just weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going back looking at some of the classics. So I do the West Wing show.
Love the West Wing.
Which, I mean, we can talk about that because that's just, I didn't know about how good it was, right? And, politics aside, that's just a great president, right? Whether you lean left or right, the guy can make decisions. He's smart. He's nice. He's just articulate, right?
The betterment of America in mind.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks American presidents are like.
There's a lot of people that think he actually was a president
I would
because
vote
of
for
that
him.
show.
But,
that's a funny thing.
and his name escapes me, the Ukrainian president, right?
Yeah.
He was a president on television, right?
Yeah.
That's how he started.
And then he got
He
that.
played the part well, and then he got the actual job. And then the other show that I'm watching a little bit is Deadwood.
Okay.
So like I said, going back a little bit to watch some of the classics.
Well, I mean, I've talked about it on here. I've gone back and I've watched the Larry Sanders Show.
I tried it, like, from your recommendation.
Yeah.
I only did like
didn't get
3
into it?
episodes. There's like a little hurdle when you watch a new show.
There is.
You got to get hooked.
You got to get hooked into it.
It didn't get me. Maybe I'll try again.
I get it. Did you like Seinfeld?
I did, but Seinfeld also did not go over the hurdle the first time.
No.
It took me the second time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So give it a shot, because as it goes on, you can tell it's kind of very proto-Seinfeld in that, like, it's like I've described on here before. It's the characters are very similar, and that they're both kind of, when you really break it down, kind of unlikable guys to an extent, very like neurotic and whatnot, and situational stuff tends to happen that draws in the comedy. So give Larry Sanders a shot. It's worth it. I want to find the other show that he did, because I watched the documentary, the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, and I want to find the Gary Shandling show, but if I'm right, that's only available on Amazon, and you have to pay like $2 an episode to watch it, and I'm not going to buy every episode at $2 a piece.
With so much free stuff you can watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, I didn't even think about YouTube, but there's a lot of shows that are on YouTube.
Yeah.
Then so maybe I might be able to find it on there, because I don't know. It sounds like a good one. But I've been going back, and I finally have started the second season of The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. Have you watched that?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh, dude. You living in Texas, this might be interesting because you've got some of these big
mega church
evangelistic kind of people and everything down there, and they're based. That show's actually based down there. But you've got John Goodman as the preacher, and Danny McBride as his oldest son, and then the other two kids and everything. But like this second season, the third season's on now, and that's coming out every week. So I'm working my way through the second one, and then I'll jump into the third. But you're finding out a little bit of the dark history of John Goodman's character and whatnot, and it's been really, really good. I've been digging it a lot. And John Goodman, man, I mean, he's such a good actor in like so many things, and I really do dig him in this.
You're a Top Gear fan, right?
Oh, I love Top Gear.
Have you seen Clarkson's Farm?
I haven't watched Clarkson's Farm yet.
Amazing.
It's on my list. I did watch their newest special. The Euro Crash or whatever.
Yeah, it's Amazon something.
Yeah. It's the newest Grand Tour special that just came out like a little bit ago.
Yeah, Clarkson's Farm, nothing about cars, right?
Yeah.
But it's a very peaceful show, right? There's no, and no bad characters in it. It's just hilarious. And I think currently it's one of the top 30 shows made by IMDb ratings.
Really?
So it is hilarious.
All right.
It's just a very calm, peaceful show about him farming and some of the challenges he has dealing with the bureaucracy out there in England and, his sheep and his cows. And he's an amateur at farming.
I follow him on Instagram, and he'll bring up stuff on his Instagram about what's going on at the farm. Like, we had a new piglet born or something like that, that sort of thing. And it's always interesting to see that. So it's on my list of ones to watch. James May's got a couple of different shows as well. Like he did some like cooking ones and various things.
That's right. Like, I did see some of that.
He's got that, and they all kind of have their little side projects as well as the main thing. But then going back though, that newest Grand Tour special, I liked it. I think I liked the one that they did prior when they were driving. There's a lot of snow and ice. I'm trying to remember what the name of that one was. It was not the most recent special, but the one prior to that. It came out right around New Year's.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I really dug that one a lot. This one had its funny moments though, because they were driving essentially through like the Soviet like Eastern Bloc, countries, and James had this like car that I guess this guy way back when in the 40s, he owned I'm trying to remember the name of it now. He owned a appliance company, and he saw all these people driving these big cars in the United States. And he's like, we should make smaller cars and they'd be more economical. And so he built this car. It's only 4 or 7, I can't remember. It's very narrow, feet wide, so that it could fit through the door of his appliance shop, because he would have the car in the appliance shop.
Yeah.
And it's running on like a 400cc engine. I mean, it's like he was on the highway going like 35 miles an hour, and he was flooring it. That was like top speed. So like semi trucks are passing him, and he's like caught in the wake and everything. It was the funniest freaking thing, man. It was so great. So they're having a race, and he's like in this little thing, and they're in like their car, and it was really good. So I don't know, something to check out.
All right, you got to get on Game of Thrones though, because
okay,
there's a reason it's so popular.
I know, and the thing is, and I'm sure I've probably said this before. I don't know, but I know I've said it to other people. I don't know if I've said it on the show, but like there are some shows that when they end and the conclusion of the show is not the best, that it diminishes my interest in even starting it. Like Dexter, for example, is the one I always come back to. With Dexter, everybody says, "Oh, it's a great show. Just don't watch that last episode." it ruins it. And I'm like, why would I want to like skip a show, or why would I want to watch a show and then like not watch the conclusion of it, not have a good conclusion to it, And so like and then they came out with that season that recently,
right?
Because they were like, we're going to fix it and blah, blah, blah. But I heard that even ended poorly. So it's like you had a second shot at it and you screwed that up. So it's like, why do I want to do this? And I guess Game of Thrones is one of those ones where I heard all this great stuff, and then that last season came out, and all I heard was bitching from all the Game of Thrones fans telling me how bad this last season was and whatever else. And so it kind of diminished my interest in going and trying it. What are your thoughts on that?
The last season was a disaster. But
see that? Okay, so you get what I'm saying then.
They had all the books ready except the last book, right? And so when the writers had to come up with their own, they fucked it up.
See, and that's my whole thing. It's like I wish that it's what J.R.R. Martin or whatever. Yeah. Just get off your ass and write your last book so that we can actually like maybe have a nice conclusion. But then again, I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to bring all the actors back and film the last season again?
Maybe. They're doing Harry Potter again, so
that's true. I don't know how I feel about that either.
I think they're going to explore the fact that Dumbledore was gay.
Oh, it's possible.
Wouldn't that be perfect this day and age to really play that out?
I just, I don't know. It would make what's her name's head pop. I'll say that much. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. That's it. I don't know. Yeah, it's the day and age we live in. So,
what are you getting on your last third there?
I
had to go in for a
I noticed you had to relight. I had to relight myself earlier after I was talking about cigar retail stuff. I'm getting close to that. I'm going to let it go for just a little bit longer. It's just, I don't know.
It's good.
It is good. It's a fantastic cigar. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any reservation spending the, $20, $23, on this cigar. Would I do it on the regular? Obviously not, but that's what makes it special is the fact that you can't do it on the regular.
I was expecting the strength to ramp up, and I have not gotten that.
No, you're right. It's been a fairly consistent 6. Yes. The flavors have been the thing that have been kind of different. The baking spice I think is still an ever-present note. Maybe not quite to the extent that it was before.
Maybe I'm getting a little bit more woody flavors now.
Yeah.
No pepper. No pepper, just the
there really hasn't been any like pepper component to it, I don't think.
I got lucky, and I'm one of the 40 people for the Cigar Authority that does the blind reviews now.
So am I.
Are you really?
I am.
Awesome? I was going to maybe bring you mine, but then that would ruin the spirit of them sending me 2. But I did my first one. What group are you in? I think we can say that.
Well, we'll talk about that after the show. We'll talk about that after the show because that's a little up in the air right now. But I'll talk about that after the show. But
so I did mine this morning, and I'm taking.
What group are you in?
I'm A.
Okay, I'm not in A.
Okay,
I'll say that much.
I bought a little.
I'm either going to be B or C. I haven't done any,
Yeah.
But like I said, I'll figure that. I'll fill you in on that.
They opened it up for 40 people, and we didn't know that at the time, right?
Yeah.
We just whoever was the first one on the credit card.
Yeah.
But when they first said 40, I was like, oh, that's a lot. That's really going to dilute what your rank is, right, in the overall picture.
But by doing the 4 groups,
yes.
I mean, you're one of 10.
Absolutely.
No.
And I like that they're staying on top of it. If you're not putting in the productive work, they're going to cut you out and switch you with somebody else. They can alter your group. So I like that they took it seriously, and I think we will too.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's only 40 of you, and if you signed up for it, then I would hope that you would put in the effort for it, And I mean, you're only being asked to do 1 review a month. I mean, that's not, but they're going to end up getting 4 reviews for the month, 1 per week, because if they've, because you obviously are going to have a different cigar than what I'm going to have, and vice versa, so yeah, I mean, they'll get what they need, and we'll, it's more of Dave Garofalo being a genius and finding a way to get what he needs and, get us to pay for it.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to work out really nicely, I think.
Yeah. But, it's one of those things I need to, sometimes the flavor notes, it's more broad. Sometimes you can really break it down. I think it's also mindset, like when I'm sitting and doing absolutely nothing, I can really concentrate on just those flavor notes. But there are other times, this may be being one of them, where I want to concentrate on the conversation. I want to concentrate on, we are recording. What do I have coming up? There's other things on the mind where sometimes it's more broad. It's more, I'm getting maybe an earthy component. I'm getting, some of the baker spice, like you said, maybe the woodiness to it or something like that. You kind of keep it more general, and that's fine, but like, I keep going back to, there was one time that I sat down with, a CLE Connecticut, and I fired that up, or I should say prior to firing it up on the cold draw, graham crackers, 100% like graham crackers. I got it like instantly. There was that Casa Cuevas cigar that we had on the show earlier this year. I don't remember the name of it, but on the cold draw, fucking brisket, man. It was brisket, 100%. Like, you can't tell me anything else. Like, it had that meatiness, it had that saltiness, it was brisket. It was total brisket. And, it had that smoke area, that little bit of Kentucky Fried Cured tobacco in there. That added to that flavor component. And it's like, okay, this is a brisket, But like other times, it's, like I said, more general.
Okay, so now that we got the flavor notes, I'm going to ruin it for you a little bit.
Oh, God.
We're going to pair it with something I brought.
Oh, God.
So I'm one of these guys that I enjoy hearing people and watching people eat. I like watching travel shows. And
oh, boy.
So are you familiar with Buc-ee's?
I am.
Have you been?
I have never been to one.
There you go.
Closest I've gotten is there's Wally's, which is off of 44. It's another large one. It has a bear as a, mascot and everything. But I don't think it's quite as large as Buc-ee's from what I gather.
So they're building one in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
I drove past it.
Okay.
And for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, it's like a big gas station down here in the South. And Texas has it. Georgia has it. Tennessee.
I need to get down to Springfield, actually. There's a cigar shop down there just for him that is really, really good. And I need to get down there to it.
And so they advertise Buc-ee's for miles away. Like in Springfield, there's this billboard that says next Buc-ee's is like 530 miles away.
Yeah, it's like a destination.
Right? Absolutely is.
I've heard their barbecue is really good.
It is, but you're also paying for it, right? So when you go to a gas station and you grab a sandwich, you're going to pay maybe $6 or something. Well, if you want a Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich, it's going to be $9, $10.
Okay.
And it's going to be decent.
Is it worth the price?
It is if you just stopping for gas and you want a barbecue sandwich.
Okay. But if you're like, I want really good barbecue, you're not going to go to Buc-ee's.
No.
Okay.
What you may go to Buc-ee's for is these things called beaver nuggets.
Okay.
So we're going to try one out. This one is a sea salted caramel.
Beaver nuggets.
I'm going to let you draw your own opinion on it. It says a uniquely delicious, light and crispy corn puff covered with decadent caramel and bold sea salt coating.
Okay. All right.
This is their claim to fame right here.
Beaver nuggets. Okay.
So let's ruin this cigar with it. Here you go.
Well, we haven't eaten anything on the show in quite a while, so this will be good. So, whoop. Oh, okay. So they're little. Well, that's just delightful.
Yeah. Fluffy, airy. Not much of a corn flavor to it, though, right?
No.
Not even like a Frito or a corn tortilla. Nothing.
Definitely not. No. It's I don't know. You get a little light caramel flavor to it. It's not like it's like a heavy caramel flavor to it.
Oh, they're baked, not fried. If that makes a difference for anybody.
It might make a difference for why we're not getting a heavy corn flavor.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see how it ruins the cigar. Usually I want chocolate with a cigar, but
yeah,
corn, chips.
That was me swallowing beaver nuts while inhaling a cigar. That was not a bright move on my part.
Definitely not the best pairing.
No, I've had better pairings, but it's a good snack. I would endorse this as a snack.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe Buc-ee's can sponsor you.
There we go.
They got sausage on a stick. That's another thing. It's like while you're driving, you can eat sausage.
See, that's a Mr. Jonathan endorsement product right there.
Yeah.
Sausage
He'll
on
love
a stick.
it.
Tie a little yellow ribbon on the end of it.
They have the cleanest bathrooms. That's their.
See, now that's important for a gas station.
Yeah, they have a full-time employee.
Yeah,
and their job is just to clean the bathroom stalls.
Okay. I hope they're paid well.
They're paid extremely well. When you walk in, you see how much they're paying, right?
Yeah.
Managers minimum make $120 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, the car wash manager makes like $125.
Oh my gosh!
Plus benefits. So I heard that it's a very difficult place to work, and a lot of people want to work there, but they are paid well.
Good.
Maybe that's why we're paying $10 for a little barbecue sandwich.
Probably. I was going to say, they got to come up with 120.
They got fudge there. You're into fudge, so go yourself some Buc-ee's fudge.
I do like fudge.
And fresh fruit, and then a bunch of tourist stuff, right? Cowboy hats and boots and belts.
Yeah, they got all that stuff at the Wally's, too. Like, I'd actually never been. My son showed up one day in a Wally's T-shirt, and I'm like, when the hell did you go to Wally's? But it's not far from here, and I did visit it briefly, and it was nice. I mean, am I driving out of my way to get there? No, but if I were near there,
you need gas.
Dude, they had like 75 gas pumps. I mean, it was insane how many gas pumps they had.
Just that alone draws people in.
Yeah,
I'm curious about that entire building. It's huge.
Yeah. So, well, interesting. Well, I appreciate the snack. It's very tasty. And now let's go ahead and do this.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. And what have you so you drove up with your wife?
Yeah, I got a kiddo too, and a little German Shepherd puppy.
So you weren't smoking on the drive then?
No, I don't smoke in my car.
Okay.
Unfortunately, right. Maybe as I'm about to get rid of it, I'll do cigars in there.
Yeah.
But,
are you driving until it dies, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, that's the thing. I do that with all my vehicles, and so it's one of those things that when I got the one that I've got now, for the first, I don't know, 5 months or so, I didn't smoke in it. I wanted to preserve that close to new car smell as I could. But then I just said screw it, and from there I just smoke in it all the time.
Yeah, it's your car. You drive a lot at work.
Oh, I drive a ton. Dude, I drive a 2019 Pathfinder that I bought in June of 2019 with 11,000 miles on it. And as I sit here right now talking to you, I am just shy of 161,000 miles.
It's a lot.
So, I mean, do the math as to how many miles per year that is, and it's insane. So there's no way I'm not going to smoke in my car. But I don't smoke when I have other people in the car, or especially my son. I mean, actually, I think that's illegal. If, in Illinois at least.
When you have other people walk into your car, they talk about how it's smelly in there, or no? Do you get the ash out?
I try to get the ash out. I obviously have an ashtray, and I use the whiff out powder in the bottom of the ashtray. That helps tamp down that kind of dead ash smell a lot. I have the whiff out spray as well that I'll do in the car. look, let's be real. People are going to smell it. Most of the time, I'd say 90+% of the time, nobody ever says anything about it. They may notice it, but nobody says anything about it. Every once in a while, somebody will be like, whoa, it really smells like cigars in here. And I'm just like, well, it could be worse, I guess, so whatever. But by and large, no, I really don't get that many comments about the odor in the car. And, Mr. Jonathan's tip of rolling down that rear passenger window a little bit and the driver window a little, it does take that smoke out of there really, really well. So I am conscious of I don't hotbox in the car. It can be a day like today where it's 100 degrees outside, or it could be a day where it's like 0 degrees outside. I'm still going to have those windows cracked and pumping the smoke out because I do not want to do that. And then on a day like today, I will still run the air conditioner, but I'll throw it to my feet instead of, like chest level. That way, when the air conditioner is drawing air in, it's not drawing smoke in per se. It's just, I'm letting the smoke go out and it's cooling down here, but it's not going in like those vents. Because I have had it to where smoke has gotten into there and then you hit the air conditioner later and all of a sudden the air coming out kind of has that smell of old ash.
That's a good tip.
And everything.
That's a good tip.
So,
what are the other cigars you did this week?
So, let's go back a little bit. So, one cigar that I smoked this week is the Aganorsa Salif Signature Edition. I smoked the Maduro. It's right over there in the cabinet here at Rivermen. And, dude, I don't know if you smoke much Aganorsa Salif, but fantastic cigars. And this one, it's a nice, pretty, presentation to it and everything. $13. I mean, that's the thing about Aganorsa Salif that I love so much is, they're super quality cigars, really good flavor and construction to them and everything. And the price point on them is so reasonable, even for their more higher end stuff. It's so reasonable that you can get a really good cigar at a good price. So I'm all in. But yeah, I had the Aganorsa Salif Supreme or Signature Edition in the Maduro.
The other one I always do is, and I did it this week too, Aladino Cameroon, right?
Yep.
And Steve Saka actually gave Aladino a huge compliment. I forgot what show he was on, but he said that as far as your money goes, that product should be more expensive. And every time I have an Aladino, it's great. Great performance. Never that much nicotine, not that much strength, full flavor. Always my go-to. I bought some here today.
Yep.
And then another one I do is the Juarez. Have you heard of the Juarez?
The Juarez. That's, is that Crown Head?
Yes.
Yes.
And they have a affordable line because they're all like $6 to $8.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican San Andreas.
Oh, it's the one with the bull on the.
It's got
the
bull on it, and it's a dessert flavored type chocolate and no pepper, just vanilla notes. Great cigar, and because it's so cheap, you can light them up every day if you want to.
Okay, all right. My second one is one that I smoked while chilling out on the patio the other day. I had an Abuelo from United Cigars. That one's...
Remind me, those are Aladino also.
They are
right?
made by Aladino, exactly. And, dude, it's, just a great smoke. I love that one. That was one that, the Cigar Authority, they put in the show pack prior to its release. It was unbanded, and Dave put it out, just for people to try, like a pre-release kind of deal. And I really, really dug it. And then when he revealed what it was, he put it back in the show pack to try it again. And I really, really dug it. And so, from there, I've ordered it from two guys a couple times. And then when I was up in New Hampshire in September for their anniversary party, I bought a box. And that was actually the last one from the box. So I've smoked through that box of them now.
And once again, those are special cigars to you, right? Every time you lit one up, you remember that trip.
I do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I still have some of the cigars I bought when I visited them. Yeah. And they're special to me just because I went and bought them there.
Exactly. It's just one of the... I've got the remnants of my box of Cigar Authority Lanceros sitting in my humidor at home now.
I never did those, man.
Yeah, dude, they're really good, actually.
Maybe, but it's a Lancero. I can't do it.
See, I'm not a big Lancero guy myself. I respect the Lancero. I know what people say they get from it, with you get more flavor from the wrapper and this and that and whatever. You got to slow down the smoking quite a bit for it, and it's just not my thing. And again, I understand where Dave's coming from. Makes your fingers look fat, but it's a good cigar. It's a really, really good cigar. I should have brought one for you now that I think about it. I didn't realize.
Did you do your third one yet?
I've not done my third one. Have you done?
I did. I did Juarez, Aladino, Cameroon. What was the first one I said?
I thought the Aladino Cameroon was the first one.
Okay, I'll think of another one.
So you got one more to go.
Yeah.
So my third one is one that I already mentioned it. I smoked it on my way back from St. Robert yesterday, and it was the Charter Oak Habano that I picked up over at the office in St. Robert there. It's one of those cigars that when I first encountered it, I really enjoyed it. The wrapper on it was very, very fragile and would crack very easily. And I was really kind of struggling with it because I really liked it. But man, that cracked wrapper just kept bothering me, and because you always had to deal with that, and that's something.
Are you putting your finger over the crack, or?
I would try to cauterize, or with the flame. But sometimes it was down at the cap where when you cut the cigar, it was fragile enough that it would crack down there. And so, then at that point you're trying to essentially slob on it enough to keep the wrapper down. And it was just one of those things that you always had to deal with it. But it was an affordable smoke and it was a good smoke. So I dealt with it. But, I think they must have done something because I didn't deal with that at all with this one. The wrapper seemed to be a little thicker, a little better. So I don't know if maybe they've figured out, a way to use a thicker, maybe they're using a thicker Habano leaf. Maybe they're doing something. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but it was aces. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, my third one then is McAuliffe, and actually the ashtray right here is McAuliffe.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to go with I did Migdalia. And once again, very affordable, tasty, consistent, local, family-owned brand.
Yep. Yeah, they're down in your neck of the woods.
They are, yeah. Delicious. I recommend that. Of course, they came out with that new one, the Black Label. Mm-hmm. That's been all the rage recently.
Yeah.
A little too strong for me, but some people love it.
Okay.
Some people love that one.
So then, in terms of your flavor, or not flavor notes, but smoking preference, how would you define yourself? Are you a light, medium, full-bodied? Where do you fall?
Yeah, if you could nail a medium every single time, then that's how I would do it.
That's where you go.
Yeah, just,
okay.
Full flavor, but just no nicotine. Once I start feeling the buzz, I'm out.
Okay.
I don't like that at all.
Okay.
It's just
you're not smoking an LFD Digger or anything like that.
No, I think I have one in my humidor, and it's just going to sit there for another 10 years until I feel it's safe.
Oof. I don't know if it's going to be safe after 10, man. That's one of those ones that I smoked that on the show with Strong, one of the customers up at the Hill Cigar Company, and son of a bitch, man, it's a strong cigar, and then on top of that, because it's such a long cigar, it's a slog at times to get through because it's just, it's not so bad at first, but it was right around the time I was nearing, I'd say, the end of the second third, getting into the third. That's when it hit, and I was just like, I am not able to do any more of this.
You have to evaluate yourself while smoking. Am I feeling good?
Yeah.
Because that's going to start feeling bad really fast.
Uh-huh.
Once you start feeling it. Like a immediate hangover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
No, there's a couple of those cigars that I've encountered that, it'll do it. It'll hit you hard. So, well, very good. Well, why don't we now hear about My Monthly Cigars. This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks. And guys, don't forget about the fucking good coffee over there at mymonthlycigars.com. You can get yourself some of the lounge blend, the daily press, all the different flavors of fucking good coffee that Nick offers over there. It's good stuff.
Very good. I have not had the pleasure yet.
See, I wish I'd have known that. I have some little sample packs I could have brought along with me,
maybe little
too.
K-cups. Does he make K-cups?
I know early on he was talking about making K-cups. We'll have to check. I'm not entirely sure if he still is or not, but I know early on he was looking and doing K-cups.
I had that as an idea for the Cigar Authority or anybody that really does a care package. You want to do a pairing.
Yeah.
Send the viewer a little K-cup. Like, we're going to smoke this, and we're going to pair it with this coffee.
Can you take, let's say if you don't have a Keurig, can you take the K-cup, kind of punch it, and, take that and pour that stuff out?
Yeah, I'm sure you can open it like a yogurt can or something.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know if that coffee that's in there it's just the same as what it is.
Right?
It's just in a cup instead of in a bag, right?
I think you can do it.
Okay. Well, see, there we go. Yeah.
Everybody's got a
nice.
Keurig. Come on.
Or at least access
go to a
one.
friend's house, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can make it happen if you want to. So, well, very good. Well, we're available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit, and we are also on Facebook where we have the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners Group. That's a fun time, and we have the little chat there where everybody can chime in. We're on Twitter, where I don't really do a whole lot, but probably should. YouTube, where Paul watches or listens, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. And then, guys, we do need your calls for this month's Ask the Boys. So call in at area code 863-874-0000. And where can people follow you if, they are so inclined?
I hope they never find me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Never find me.
That's all right. Well, Paul, I really appreciate you taking time out to join me here.
It was a pleasure. It's like meeting a cigar celebrity.
I don't know about that. I'm just a guy.
I think that's how all celebrities feel, right?
Yeah.
But when you watch somebody for however many, whatever, I've been watching you, it does feel like you know the person and they know nothing about you, but you know everything about them. It's the creepiest relationship ever. It
can be a little weird at times, but, when you come at it cool, then it's no big deal. I mean, I'm not getting creepy stalker vibes from you. I've gotten creepy stalker vibes from some people before, and it's I'm not getting that here, so that's nice.
Excellent.
And you brought snacks, so that goes a long way.
Anytime somebody's got snacks, right?
I mean, obviously. Anyway, well, alrighty then. Final thoughts on the EP Carrillo Pledge of Allegiance here. I'm kind of down to about the halfway point of my final third, and I would say the intensity of it has maybe ramped up just ever so slightly. Not anything bad. It's not like we've gone from a 6 to a 9. But I do feel like we're more in the 7 to 7.5 range now, maybe, as we get to the end.
Yeah, it's getting hotter, and that probably makes it something, right?
Exactly. It's burning a little warmer now.
But I got a pretty good burn even at the end here, and I see yours too.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right?
I'm the same way.
It looks pretty when you put it down, when you're done with it for the rest of the day and just sits there in the lounge. And this is somebody who enjoyed their cigar from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, and got as much out of it as they possibly could. This is normally about the point that I would toss it down. I'm getting, kind of at the point where if you go too much longer, you start thinking about burning fingertips or lips or something like that. But I'm going to try and get a little bit more out of this before it's all said and done. Because, $23 cigar, you want to maximize the enjoyment.
$4 right there.
But at the same time, it's good. It's not oftentimes with some Connecticut's, you get down to this point and start getting bitter and things like that. Or, you get down on like a Maduro to this point, and the intensity of it is just so strong that you just don't want to do it anymore. But like this is still smoking very smooth, and like I said, the intensity's ramped up a smidge, but not enough that it's like, okay, I'm done. But it's just really, really good.
Yeah, I think this is where the construction comes through, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody aged it, somebody rolled it correctly. It didn't block through the end here.
Okay.
Glutton for punishment over there.
Final third retro hail. Oh, there is definitely. All right. You know how earlier we said no pepper? That it's like lingering in the sinuses.
Maybe the beaver nugget brought that out.
It may be. Maybe the sweetness of the beaver nugget. But, yeah, it's lingering. It's hanging on in the sinuses here. It's a light pepper. It's not like it's like a, red or something like that, or black pepper. It's more of maybe like a white pepper. But, man, it is definitely hanging on. Oh, I cleared the sinuses there. But, yeah, it's present in the end. So that's where they put the little bit of peppery spice.
The last little tips.
But it's good. I like it.
Delicious.
I dig it a lot. Well, Paul, thank you so much for taking time out. I really appreciate it. You drove all the way down to St. Louis here, and it's very much appreciated.
My pleasure. It was awesome.
Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Paul. I'm Paul.
Stay safe and stay smoky. Not quite as long as the old one.
Well, see, you surprised me. This is only the second time you've done these, right?
Yes, actually.
So I didn't know what I was looking for, man. You're just playing some. You never talked about bringing on new theme music?
I just, you just kind of do it. You just freshen it up. You just kind of do it.
It's great. I like it.
I mean, something different.
All right, I got another surprise for you just for after hours.
Oh, boy.
We're just going to polish it off with some chocolate here.
Okay. What have we got?
After a cigar, I like to eat some chocolate, right?
Caramel with
that
sea
sugar
salt.
will help any nicotine and
for sure
just cleanse your palate. Yep. Another Bucky's treat.
I like the little beaver guy. He's cute.
Yeah, individually wrapped little package.
All right.
This will play well on the beaver nuggets because they were also salted caramel.
Yeah.
It's a big little square toffee looking thing. I'm gonna take the whole thing.
Well, cheers.
Here. Oh, shit, dude. These are 100 calories for one.
This is significant.
Man, this is chunky. You will find all your cavities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was a lot.
This was a lot. Probably shouldn't have taken this in one bite.
Yeah, man, it sticks your mouth together.
Uh-huh. It's all back in there.
This is going to take a while.
All the people that hate eating on the show are so triggered right now.
Dude, I've never had one of these. I didn't know what it was going to do. Sorry, guys. This is...
Okay, the bulk of it's gone. I just got to clean up the teeth. But that was good. I liked it. And you're right. A little bit of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's sea salt. It didn't look like there was a lot on it. But I don't know if it's in the caramel. But it's definitely... there's that definite presence of the sea salt.
Yeah, man,
I like
you get your 100 calories worth. It's still going, right?
It's good. It's good. All right, man. Thank you so much.
See you guys.